The massive protest against Princess Leonor. In the heart of Madrid, a crowd gathered in the streets, waving banners, chanting slogans, and demanding attention. What brought so many people together was not a political crisis, a financial scandal, or even a sporting event. It was the presence of Spain's future queen, Princess Leonor. Reports began to circulate early that morning. A massive protest was forming, one that some media outlets described as unprecedented in scale for a royal occasion. The streets near the royal palace and the main civic avenues were soon filled with citizens expressing their opinions, some supportive, many critical, and a few deeply polarized. For decades, Spain has maintained a constitutional monarchy in which the king and the royal family serve primarily as symbolic and unifying figures. Yet this system is not immune to public debate. In recent years, discussions about the relevance of the monarchy have intensified, fueled by economic pressures, political tensions, and generational change. Leonor, as the eldest daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, is at the center of these conversations. From a young age, she has been positioned as the future of the monarchy, expected to carry forward centuries of tradition while adapting to a modern, highly scrutinized public role. The protest that day was about more than one person. It represented the division within Spanish society over the monarchy itself. On one side were citizens who see Leonor as a symbol of continuity and national identity, someone prepared to embody stability and leadership in a rapidly changing world. On the other were those who question the institution, arguing that hereditary privilege conflicts with contemporary democratic values. The banners and chants reflected that split. Some called for the preservation of royal tradition, emphasizing pride in Spain's historical continuity. Others called for reform or even abolition, framing their protest as part of a broader discussion about governance, transparency, and societal priorities. Political analysts quickly highlighted the significance of the event. Unlike isolated demonstrations in the past, this protest was massive, organized, and highly visible both nationally and internationally. It drew attention from media outlets across the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia, all of which have long followed European monarchies and their evolving roles. Royal experts emphasize that such a public display of division is rare in Spain's recent history. While debates over monarchy have existed since the Restoration in the late 20th century, few protests have combined scale, intensity, and direct focus on the heir to the throne. For Leonor, the situation presented both a challenge and a reality check. Growing up under constant observation, she has always known that her role will be closely scrutinized. Her education, her military training, and her public appearances have all been designed to prepare her for that scrutiny. Yet standing in the midst of a divided society is an experience few can fully anticipate. Her response, though not immediately visible, is critical. Monarchies function not only through ceremony but through public trust. Every decision, every appearance, and every reaction has the potential to either reinforce or undermine that trust. In this context, maintaining composure and projecting stability becomes essential, not just for Leonor herself, but for the institution she represents. The protest also underscored a generational shift in public attitudes. Younger Spaniards, many of whom grew up in a digital age, are more likely to challenge traditional hierarchies and demand accountability. Social media amplified the reach of the protest, allowing the movement to gain international visibility within hours. Clips, images, and live coverage circulated widely, attracting attention from royal watchers, political analysts, and journalists around the globe. Analysts noted that the protest was not solely political, it was cultural. It reflected differing visions of Spain's identity in the 21st century. For some, Leonor represents a bridge between tradition and modernity, a young leader capable of guiding the monarchy through changing societal expectations. For others, she embodies an institution perceived as out of touch with contemporary challenges, from economic inequality to political decentralization. Security forces and palace officials face the difficult task of ensuring safety while respecting citizens' rights to demonstrate. Their careful coordination highlighted the complexity of balancing public engagement with protection for the royal family. Inside the palace, officials reportedly monitored the situation closely. Advisors emphasized the importance of measured communication, careful public statements, and the management of optics. Any misstep could inflame tensions further, while thoughtful responses could demonstrate resilience and leadership. International commentators also weighed in. Media from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia noted that this protest, while rooted in domestic issues, signals broader questions about monarchy in the modern world. They drew parallels to similar debates in other European countries, emphasizing the global interest in how traditional institutions adapt to contemporary expectations. The massive protest against Leonor is a reminder that monarchy, even centuries old, is not immune to scrutiny. While she is trained to embody stability, leadership, and governance, the public's perception remains a powerful force. Every speech, every appearance, and every step she takes in her public role carries significance. At the same time, the protest is not necessarily a negative indicator. Monarchies have historically survived periods of intense criticism and societal questioning. How they respond, adapt, and maintain relevance determines their longevity. For Leonor, these early moments of public challenge are an opportunity to demonstrate composure, empathy, and strategic leadership. Observers point out that public divisions often prompt growth. Monarchs who navigate controversy with dignity can emerge stronger, commanding respect across a wider spectrum of citizens. Leonor's youth, education, and exposure to international diplomacy position her to respond thoughtfully to such challenges. Meanwhile, public dialogue surrounding the protest may lead to broader conversations about Spain's institutions. Questions of governance, stability, and national identity are being discussed in living rooms, social media feeds, and editorial pages. In many ways, Leonor's role is intertwined with these debates, whether she actively participates or not. Her parents, King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, have long emphasized resilience and careful preparation. Their guidance is now more critical than ever, providing a framework within which Leonor can learn to navigate polarized public sentiment while maintaining the dignity of her office. Ultimately, the massive protest against Princess Leonor is about far more than a single event. It reflects societal tensions, generational shifts, and the enduring challenge of maintaining public trust in monarchy. For Leonor, it is a test, not only of her personal composure but of the monarchy's ability to remain relevant in a rapidly changing world. The story of that day will likely be remembered as a pivotal moment in her journey. It is a reminder that leadership is never just ceremonial, it is lived through engagement, scrutiny, and the capacity to adapt. For Spain, the protest highlights the ongoing dialogue between tradition and modernity, between inherited authority and citizen expectation. And for Leonor, it represents an early but critical lesson, that the crown she may one day wear carries not only history but responsibility, challenge, and the need for thoughtful, steadfast leadership. Her journey continues, step by step, under the watchful eyes of the nation and the world. And how she responds to these moments of division will play a defining role in shaping the monarchy's future, and her legacy as a future queen. As the initial shock of the protest began to settle, analysts and royal commentators turned their attention to understanding the deeper significance of the event. While the demonstration was visible, loud, and highly organized, its implications go far beyond a single day in Madrid. Spain has a long history of political and social movements, and the monarchy has not always remained untouched by public opinion. From calls for reform during the 19th century to the debates surrounding the restoration of the monarchy in the late 20th century, royal institutions have always needed to adapt to shifting societal expectations. For Princess Leonor, this moment represents one of the first major tests of her public life. Unlike her parents, she is being raised in an era where social media accelerates scrutiny and magnifies every misstep. In the past, controversies might have remained within national boundaries or faded quickly from public memory. Today, every protest, every headline, and every viral video circulates globally within minutes. International media from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia picked up coverage almost immediately. Their reports framed the protest not only as a domestic matter but as a reflection of the challenges faced by modern monarchies worldwide. Observers noted that Leonor's experience mirrors broader questions: how can traditional institutions maintain relevance? How should heirs to the throne respond to divided public opinion? Some critics of the monarchy argued that protests like these expose structural weaknesses, questioning the legitimacy of inherited authority in a contemporary democracy. Others emphasized that moments of dissent are inevitable in any institution that exists at the intersection of tradition and modern governance. Both perspectives underline a key reality: public perception plays a decisive role in the sustainability of monarchy today. Behind the scenes, palace officials and royal advisors monitored the situation with great care. Their strategy is often one of patience, consistency, and measured response. Engaging directly with criticism is rare, as giving attention to every demonstration risks amplifying dissent. Instead, the royal household typically emphasizes steady public presence, carefully crafted speeches, and continued fulfillment of official duties. For Leonor herself, learning to navigate such moments is an essential part of her preparation. Leadership is not defined solely by ceremonial appearances or formal education, it is also about resilience, composure, and the ability to manage public opinion without losing credibility. Every protest, every divided crowd, and every news cycle contributes to that learning process. Family support is central to how Leonor copes with the pressures. Her younger sister, Infanta Sofia, offers companionship and understanding, sharing experiences unique to growing up in a royal household. Meanwhile, guidance from King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia provides both strategy and perspective, ensuring that Leonor is prepared not just to appear regal, but to act effectively as a representative of the nation. The protest also highlighted an important generational element. Younger Spaniards, accustomed to challenging authority and expressing opinions through organized movements, are increasingly vocal about institutional relevance. Their engagement is amplified by digital platforms, making their voices impossible to ignore. This generational shift underscores the challenge for Leonor. She must embody the stability and continuity of monarchy while remaining relatable to a population that values transparency and accountability. Despite the tension, royal experts argue that protests are not inherently negative for the monarchy. In fact, such events can serve as crucial reminders of the importance of adaptability. Monarchs who learn to navigate dissent with poise often emerge stronger, building trust across wider segments of the population. Leonor's response in the coming months and years could shape public perception for decades. Moreover, the protest is part of a broader dialogue about Spain's identity in the modern world. Economic concerns, political debates, and regional tensions all intersect with questions about monarchy. Leonor, as heir, will inevitably be positioned at the center of these discussions, making her preparation in diplomacy, leadership, and governance even more vital. As the dust settled from the protest, it became clear that Leonor's journey toward the throne would not be simple or ceremonial. It would involve engaging with a society that is not always unified in its expectations, balancing tradition with contemporary values, and demonstrating leadership that extends beyond formal duties. This moment serves as a reminder that monarchy is a living institution. It exists not just in palaces and ceremonies but in the perceptions, trust, and engagement of the people it represents. And for Leonor, learning to respond to division with dignity and strategy is one of the most important lessons of all. In the coming years, as she continues her education, military training, and public duties, the memory of this protest will likely serve as a reference point, a test of resilience, adaptability, and leadership. How she navigates such challenges will ultimately shape both her own reputation and the future of the Spanish monarchy itself. The massive protest is a vivid illustration that the path to the throne is not merely inherited, it is earned, moment by moment, through composure, strategy, and the ability to command respect even in the midst of division. Leonor's journey is still unfolding, but this event marks a pivotal chapter in the making of a future queen. As the weeks following the protest passed, attention gradually shifted from the immediate spectacle to the broader implications for Princess Leonor and the Spanish monarchy. What initially seemed like a single moment of public dissent revealed deeper societal currents, generational expectations, political debates, and questions about the relevance of royal institutions in modern Europe. Analysts emphasize that protests of this scale are rare in Spain. While the monarchy has faced criticism before, this event was different. It focused squarely on the heir to the throne, not just ceremonial politics or policy decisions. That distinction matters because it directly engages the future of the monarchy itself, placing Leonor at the center of both historical continuity and contemporary scrutiny. International media from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia highlighted the global resonance of the protest. Monarchies around the world are closely observed, and Spain's experience serves as a case study for the pressures facing heirs who must balance inherited authority with public accountability. Commentators noted that Leonor's ability to maintain composure and project stability will influence perceptions of leadership across national borders, not just at home. Within Spain, the protest sparked conversations far beyond the streets. Editorials, talk shows, and social media discussions debated the monarchy's role in the 21st century, and the conversation often returned to one central theme: trust. Monarchies survive not simply because of tradition, but because citizens trust that the institution reflects national identity, continuity, and stability. For Leonor, this is a critical lesson. Every appearance, every speech, and every engagement offers an opportunity to strengthen, or weaken, that trust. Her military training, public engagements, and educational endeavors are all part of a broader preparation not only for ceremonial duties but also for the nuanced responsibilities of leadership. Her parents, King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, remain central to this process. Philippe's experience as king has been defined by measured responses, diplomacy, and a focus on institutional credibility. Letizia's background in journalism provides insight into how public perception is formed and maintained, offering Leonor tools to navigate scrutiny in a modern media landscape. The presence of her younger sister, Infanta Sofia, also provides emotional grounding. Growing up under public observation can be isolating, and having a close sibling who shares the experience offers support and perspective. Together, the sisters represent the next generation of the monarchy, one that must learn to connect with both tradition and contemporary societal values. Royal experts point out that challenges like this protest are not necessarily negative. Moments of division often present opportunities for growth. Leaders who demonstrate poise under pressure can strengthen public confidence, turning scrutiny into a test of resilience. For Leonor, responding to criticism with composure, empathy, and strategic understanding will be a defining aspect of her future reign. The protest also underscores the broader evolution of Spanish society. Citizens are increasingly vocal about governance, transparency, and national identity, and they expect institutions, including the monarchy, to reflect those values. In this environment, the heir to the throne cannot rely solely on tradition. She must engage thoughtfully with a public that is both attentive and demanding. As Leonor continues her preparation, the lessons of the protest are likely to remain relevant. Her education, military training, and public duties are not simply ceremonial, they are practical experiences that teach discipline, leadership, and adaptability. Every challenge, including moments of dissent, shapes her understanding of what it means to lead a historic institution in a modern democracy. Ultimately, the massive protest against Princess Leonor is more than a moment of division, it is a reminder of the responsibilities she will carry. Leadership in a constitutional monarchy is not inherited alone, it is earned through consistent, measured, and thoughtful action. This event will be remembered as an early test of her resilience and capacity to embody the principles of stability, governance, and service. How she navigates public scrutiny, responds to criticism, and balances tradition with contemporary expectations will shape not only her personal legacy but the future relevance of the Spanish monarchy itself. For Leonor, the road ahead remains long and complex. Yet the lessons of the protest, the support of her family, and the careful preparation she is undergoing all point toward a path defined by steady leadership, strategic composure, and a commitment to the institution she is destined to inherit. In the end, Spain's divisions on that day serve as a mirror, not only of public sentiment, but of the challenges inherent in monarchy today. For Princess Leonor, they are both a test and a guide, a vivid early chapter in the making of a future queen who must navigate a nation that is attentive, demanding, and forever watching.